good vibrations.
Hello everybody, I'm back for another Tufti The Priestess video. So have you been practicing? Have you been taking a stroll in a live movie? Are you waking up? I see myself, I see my reality. Get to center screen, activating the plot, and illuminating your frame with your future so that you can start creating your reality, changing your script, getting control of things a little bit. So what transforming and reprogramming is about in the book is a lot about our beliefs. You know, we talk about, do you really believe that you can do this? And it takes practice. And when you do practice it, you see results. That really helps a lot. So what Vadim's saying, or Tufti, is when you do illuminate the frame, it's kind of like a mannequin in a store window that comes to life and steps out of the store window and becomes alive. So the frequency is going to shift. So it might take a little bit, it's kind of like a little bit of glitch in your movie, or in, you know, trying to, not trying, but changing the frames and the future frames. So it takes practice, and he calls it, they call it reprogramming. So it's a lot about practicing. It's a lot about, you know, not hoping that it works, just a lot about believing. So those are some of the concepts in these chapters. Multiple repetitions over and over, really getting to where you believe that it's possible. It's really important. So practice, practice, practice. That's what I say, and that's what I've been doing myself. But, you know, I've been materializing things all my life. I just have never used this technique. It's fun, and I've been practicing myself and seeing results, really. And they talk about that when you illuminate the frame, you're actually igniting an inner light, calls it. So you're starting to kind of change frequency in your life as you do it. So my latest example of using the Tufti technique is that in the past, and I'm framing it that way, I used to be very anxious, let's put it, when I take a test. So for that reason, I'm really quite intelligent and always have been, but just didn't really like school too much. For example, I would get all the concepts, and then I would go to take a test and I would fail the test. At one point, one of my college professors was so angry at me, he took me aside and he said, "You go take that test again. I know you know this stuff." He put me in a room by myself and I passed the test. And luckily for me, he gave me the grade. So I guess you could say maybe I had test anxiety. So recently I decided to take a state licensing exam, and I started to study for the exam, and I started to feel some anxiety, and I thought, okay, I have got to script change. I got to change this movie, and I'm going to pass this. And so I did look and research, and it had a 50% fail rate the first time. So I was already kind of halfway through studying the modules, and I was having some doubts. I was like, you know, but I decided to utilize the plot, and I created a frame and saw myself passing. I didn't really put any importance upon what I got for a grade. I knew I had to get a 70% pass. All I wanted to do was pass. And then I also created a second slide. Now, I don't know if this is really in the book or not. I know it's, I haven't come to it in Tufti. I don't remember it being in reality transurfing, but I created a second slide to drop importance, and I saw myself not passing and being okay with it and knowing that I could just take that test again. So I studied for 7 days and I passed. And I actually had no anxiety when I was taking the test either, except I was a little annoyed because I felt like, oh my gosh, none of the questions were the same as in the study modules that I was using. But I mean, this is an example of reality transurfing, of using the Tufti techniques, that they really work and you can apply them in real life. But you know, if you noticed, I've been doing these videos over the last couple of months, like one a month, because I am taking my time. I'm building on my techniques, and that's what he's talking about, reprogramming. You've got to practice and repeat it over and over again, and then you get more used to it. And then once you have some small wins, it gives you more confidence, and really enforces your belief. Like, I truly believe we can materialize our future because I've done it since I've been a child. I just didn't really know how I was doing it. But I just want to tell you that these techniques do work, and we can compose our reality. Do you believe it, though? That's another aspect of this. Effort. Okay, you've got to more apply concentration versus forcing something with effort. It has to come easily. You kind of actually let it come to you, which is why when you're composing a frame, you're seeing the end goal. Like, I didn't worry about getting to the test, taking the test, getting a high score. I didn't get, see a 70%. I just saw pass. And, oh, by the way, I got an 82. I did good. But so effort, it has to get out of it. We have to be relaxed in it. And how does relaxation come when you're trying something new? It comes with practice, right? So that's also finally saying that the outer center is like your higher self. So that's why inner intention doesn't do the job. You really activating the plate is connecting to your higher self, right? And allowing it to come to you. So we don't want to force anything. Illuminating the frame is getting in touch with our higher self. And so for me, one of my things that I do, not in the book, but he does speak to frequency, is I make sure that I attune my frequency daily using frequency music. First thing in the morning, I am listening to frequency music, which entrains my heart. And then at night, well, actually, I'll go to the gym and I'll get on the treadmill and I'll put my headset in and I'll get on my treadmill and do whatever I do. Sometimes I'm Facebooking, whatever, but I'm listening to frequency music through the stereo headset. That is brain entrainment. So you want to have your heart and your mind entrained. And then at night, I do meditations before I go to sleep. I usually use guided meditations. I like those a lot. But I also listen to delta frequencies. So listening to music to me is easy. You can't listen to the music that I use. You can't listen to it while you drive, but I can listen to it while I'm working in the background as my heart's in training, or I can listen to it with my headset when I'm walking or working out or whatever, because it has no words, it doesn't really bother me. I can read, I can study, I can do chores, and still brain entrained and heart entrained. So my mind and heart are frequency is attuned. I think that's really important for me. It helps me for when I'm doing my materialization work. Again, you're not trying to force your reality. You are letting it come to you. Now you're giving it the end point, right? But then you just kind of relax and let it come to you. There's no forcing it to obey. I command you. It's not working like that. You're just doing the end frame and letting divine guidance fill in the gaps. A lot of times I have a little saying that God bless it or block it, thy will not mine be done. And it just helps me relax. Like, okay, so if I don't pass the test, am I going to fall and crumble into a ball and die? No, I'll just take the test again. That's what most people do. Now, do I want to pass the test the first time through? Of course. But when you take the stress off of it, of having to have it, it really helps a lot. You just see the end frame, and then, of course, I took action. I studied for 7 days. Now, I did do that because I didn't want to stretch it out. I had 9 months to take the test, but good Lord, I didn't want to be studying for 9 months. Like, so, you know, I just said, okay, I'm going to go balls to the walls. I'm going to study as hard. I'm going to take action. And then I'm going to take importance off of it by seeing what would happen if I didn't pass it, and take it again, like a lot of people. Like a lot of people do. And I'm telling you, I just sailed right through, and I know it's because of these techniques. And so it does work. You got to practice. You've got to not push it. You want to get your frequency tuned up, and you know, drop importance off of some of the stuff a little bit. So, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it gets blocked, you know, I always have this saying, when you're rejected, you're protected. Sometimes we think we want something, right? And it might not be exactly the what we want might not be exactly what is the best thing for us. So that's a little bit of acceptance. I hope you're getting something out of this. There's just a lot to this book. That's why I don't want to pile on videos really quickly. And if you need to go back a few videos, you know, to kind of remember, or hopefully you're reading the book yourself and studying it and just practicing and the concepts and getting your head wrapped around it, just a fun way. Okay, Tufti, signing off here. I'm calling myself Great Aunt Tufti. I could be Grandma Tufti because I'm 61, but I don't want to wear that one yet. I will do that when I'm 71. So I will be a Great Aunt Tufti. I know Renee Garcia is the white-faced Tufti. She's got that role taken, so I'll let her have that one, and I will be a Grand Aunt Tufti. So anyway, I'm just having fun dressing up as Tufti and doing these videos. I hope you're getting some value out of it. Please comment, like, subscribe, of course. And thank you for following my videos. They're getting watched. And I also have another show, Solutions, a book review show for mind readers. And I will be interviewing Renee Garcia, who is endorsed by New Zealand, on my show next week, and I hope you enjoy that. See that in my playlist. All right, beautiful people, Transurfers, signing off till the next video. Bye.